Welcome back up to the top of the Tower of Trinity English for another edition of The View from Here. It stopped raining long enough for us to pop our way up and run between the raindrops. And today, I had the opportunity to have Amy Hartzog from the city with us this morning. Amy works on the trails, the bike trails. If you've been on a trail or a greenway, Amy's responsible for it.
Oh, I'm one of the people responsible for it, yes.
Excellent. So don't send all of your mail to her, unless you're happy with it. But Amy also is overseeing the program of Open Streets, which is going to be taking place in a few weeks.
Yes, Sunday, July 14th is when we'll host the event. It will run from 11 to 3 p.m. on South Calhoun Street from Superior Street to Pontiac. And we are excited to have Trinity English again as a partner at the event.
Well, we have loved that event. I mean, we love the fact that the streets are open. If you've ever had a chance to wander around in a city in Europe, I mean, that sense of openness, people riding their bikes and wandering around, it gives that kind of sense of just come and hang out, be in your home city.
It's nice to see bikes and pedestrians taking over a street, and it does have a European feel to it for sure, because they have places where it's just for people and not vehicles, and so it allows you an opportunity to connect with others, whereas if you're in your vehicle, you're distant, and it's just nice to meet people in the street. And we are so excited for this year's event, having a bike parade. This will be the first year for that, and Trinity is a partner in that parade, and so
we're sponsoring a station where you can come and decorate your bike to be in the parade.
Yes.
Is there judging?
There will be judging. Good judging. Good judging.
Yeah. So you might want to think about, I mean, if you're watching this, you might want to think about how you're going to bring your bike on down and decorate it and be in the Great Bike Parade.
Yes.
So third year. What have you heard from other people? We know it's great to be open. Obviously, it's gone well. We've done it now for a third year. Bike parade. What else might be happening this year?
Well, we have over 70 plus organizations, well over 100 different free things that people can do. What's great about Open Streets is that it is a free activity, or it is an event with free activities. So families, it's very family friendly. You don't have to fork over a lot of money to participate in Open Streets.
Right. You know, one of the things working down here, I get a chance to, I come to work, I park, and then I get to kind of walk around downtown. I resist going to lunch places where I can't walk, but one of the things about that is that you see the whole area differently.
You most definitely do. Again, when you're in your motor vehicle, you have the shell around you, and so you can't see everything. You don't have all your senses activated, but when you're on the street, on your feet or on a bike, you really can absorb the environment so much better, and you can see some of our beautiful historic buildings, and just the architecture and all the work that went into those buildings so long ago is impressive. And then also our new buildings and how they're being maintained is great as well.
Yeah. It's a completely different feel.
And then there's also the bakery smell that you get on South Calhoun. Once you go underneath the railroad tracks and smell the cinnamon buns, it's wonderful.
Yes, the strange thing is that on Sunday morning I get to work at 6. I come in around 6 o'clock in the morning, and nobody else is out. A few people might be walking around on the streets, but you get that if the air is blowing the right way, you can even hear at Trinity. You can smell that the whole way up here. If the air's right, nothing else is going on. You can smell it. So here we are. It's always a great view. We always invite people to kind of look out and think about our city and about our home, and what do we? I guess we leave that as an open question for everybody. What do you, as you're up here looking around, what does it make you think about?
Well, connectedness, I would say. We have this beautiful city, and we've seen so much change and development come where we're inviting people into the streets, not just for Open Streets, but for so many events. I mean, there's so much going on in Fort Wayne to celebrate, and we get to walk in the street or on the sidewalks, and there's just so many things to do that I think there's more connectedness than ever before, which we need more than ever before because of so many ways to be disconnected as well. So with technology and those sorts of things. So having an event like Open Streets or Busker Fest or Three Rivers Festival, and so many more. Air Festival, I think, is coming up this weekend. Spring Cycle, Fort for Fitness is happening this weekend. So many ways for people to celebrate community and diversity and just living this life together. So
yeah, we really we know people talk a lot about electronic technology, social media, that sort of stuff. We had a conversation with Dan Schwartz from Wunderkammer a few weeks ago, and Dan and I were talking about how we really think all of those things in their proper sense make people want to be more together. That social media, electronic stuff on your computer, you should see things then that make you want to be with other people, to share that experience. And I think what you're doing and what the city is doing with so many things creates opportunities for people to be together.
I would agree wholeheartedly.
Yeah, and that, and we promote these things like a video on a website, but that its ultimate goal is to encourage people to be together, to come into the city where there are other people, not to be isolated on your own, but to come and there's people around you and they're enjoying the same things, and you get a buzz from being with these people.
Most definitely, and I think with Open Streets, one thing that's unique about it, again, will be the free activities, and they will vary in interest. So there's something for everyone. We'll have dancing, we'll have music, there'll be the bike parade, of course. So many different types of activities. The YMCA will be offering a couple classes. We'll have some other fitness groups there. There will be Pokemon Go, so we'll have some extra Pokestops, I think that's what it said, the lingo anyhow. So we're trying to reach everyone.
Yeah. As we stand up here, we look out, Trinity occupies this block here, and we also think sometimes, or at least my office is right around the corner there, and I look out on Wayne Street, and we wonder sometimes, is it possible, you might not be able to answer this, but is it possible ever to occasionally on a Sunday block off this little section of Wayne Street and again create a miniature Open Streets? Is that possible for other groups to say, we want to encourage again the mixing of community?
I would say most definitely with a city permit. You can apply for a permit for a block party, and growing up I lived in the North Side neighborhood and we had block parties every summer, and so it was a great way to celebrate with our neighbors and just have fun in the street.
Yeah.
So
play in the street. You can play
in the street.
Safely, yes. Safely. Yeah.
I think ultimately too, with encouraging people to bike and walk in the street when cars aren't there, I hope that people will see that the sidewalks are great places for pedestrians, and if you're choosing your routes wisely, cycling on some of our city streets, our paths, sidewalks if you don't feel comfortable, but you also have to use caution when you do ride on sidewalks, that you can do that outside of Open Streets. This is a great mode of transportation, biking or walking, and it's going to hopefully increase your longevity, make you feel better. You get to take in the beautiful city air and the sounds of spring with the birds chirping. I mean, it's a wonderful way to get around.
Yeah. When we first moved, it's about 6.5 years ago, my family moved to Fort Wayne from a community in Virginia, and where we lived, it was a quintessential suburban community. There were no sidewalks, no bike trails. And when we first moved here, that was one of the things that struck us, was the maintenance of sidewalks, bike trails, and the importance that seemed to be to the community. It was one of the things that, when we decided to come, that was one of the things that we found attractive, was the availability of that in this community.
Well, we're fortunate to have the leadership of Mayor Henry and the support of City Council to invest in those quality of life items that are so vital for getting around on foot and by bike. And we're continually expanding, but never fast enough.
Never fast enough.
That's Absolutely. The one thing. I wish we had a wand and could make it happen
never
quicker.
Never fast enough.
Yes.
Yeah. What else are you thinking?
I'm glad it's not raining. I have my umbrella in hand, and I don't need it.
I am too. I'm glad it's not raining. Yes. because it's kind of wet up here. We can see that, yes, it's been kind of wet up here. Believe it or not, it does get wet up here.
Oh, it's a wonderful view. I'm thinking I'm grateful to be out here sharing this space with you and
Thanks.
talking about open streets and observing what I think is a beautiful looking city. On the move too.
It is, yeah, it's really cool. And even in the time that we've lived here, it's been amazing to watch the transformation, even in 6.5 years.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You know, all of the stuff that's happened and all the stuff that's going on.
Most definitely, it's taking off. One thing that I would recommend to folks that are attending open streets, if you're bringing your bikes, I would recommend investing in a lock if you're able to, so that you can stop and possibly have lunch at maybe Welch's Ale House or Forteza or at one of the other restaurants along the route, West Coast Grill, Pint and Slice. Yeah, Saigon. Yeah. So many different options for eating. So, but it'd be good to lock up your bike if you're riding.
Yeah, absolutely. Keep it safe and feel good about it.
Yes.
Feel like you don't have to be looking over your shoulder to keep an eye on it. Yeah.
When we started discussing open streets, it took a couple of years to get our feet underneath it. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Or our bike wheels.
Yes. We had to do some research. We were fortunate to receive a grant from the Knight Foundation to travel to Atlanta and to observe their Streets Alive, which is their open streets event in Atlanta, and attend some workshops. We came back from that workshop and open streets event, Atlanta Streets Alive, and we started planning. So in 2017, we hosted our first annual open streets with some skepticism, but we proved those skeptics wrong. It was extremely popular event, well received. Here at Trinity English, we were fortunate that this was the route, part of the route at the time.
It was.
And you had blessing of the folks and spokes, I believe.
We did, yeah.
And did we bring that back, right?
Yes, we did that last year, and we hope to do that again. It's a little different when it's not like right in front of the church. I mean, we're a little disconnected, but we feel connected to the city in a way that, you know, we're movable. We can take ourselves to another part. So
you do that well.
Well, thanks. Yeah. Thanks.
So when 2017 we hosted that first event, it was coincided with Three Rivers Festival's Art in the Park and Chalk Walk, which we find to be a great partner event for open streets because it's such a popular time to be downtown. So many people are already on their feet or on their bikes exploring downtown. So we just close off a mile to a mile and a half this year of South Calhoun Street, and it works really well. Reaching out to different businesses and organizations like yours, the church here, we were really surprised at how many people wanted to be part of Open Streets and continually want to be part of it too, which is really exciting. There's so much to show off in our community, and there's so much community pride that Open Streets is a perfect venue to show it all off.
It is, you know, and it's a real testament to you and to the people at the city that it's gone now 3 years. People want to be involved, and if businesses want to be involved, that's a sign that you've done a great job.
Well, thank you.
You know, because people don't want. If it was a dog, nobody would want to be part of it. You know, like.
Yes.
Let's put our heads down and pretend it's not happening this weekend. But I mean, you all have done just a great job in promoting and making it safe and creating an environment that people want to be in.
Well, we work with a lot of the businesses and organizations in the community to make that happen. So it's really all of us making it happen.
Sure.
Open Streets will start at 11 a.m. on Sunday, July 14th, and it runs through 3 p.m. And our route that will be closed from 11 a.m. to 3 will be Calhoun Street from Superior south to Pontiac. And there will be some cross streets that will remain open, such as Washington and Jefferson, Main Street, I believe Williams and Creighton as well. And traffic will be able to cross the corridor, but they won't be driving down Calhoun Street during our event hours. It'll be easy to get around in a car, no problem.
And even when you're there, it'll be controlled passage to allow pedestrians to move through it and traffic to move through safely.
Most definitely. We're working with police to have those intersections staffed for a watchful eye, and volunteers as well. We will also have some barricades just to keep people mindful of where there's an active intersection. So it'll take a little bit of work to get across, but not too much.
Sure.
And it's important to note that our bike parade will start at 12:30, and that will take place starting at Superior Street. And we will have a little kids route. We're still working on the details, but that will only run a couple of blocks. And then for those that are able, we'll have a much longer route extending all the way to Pontiac Street. It'll give people an opportunity to ride in a parade form all the way to the end, and then on the way back, they can make their way back and explore all the cool things that are going on. There'll be pop-up shops with Seed Fort Wayne Summit City Match program. We'll have music near Neat 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 and the Welch Ale House. We'll have hula hoop dancing, face painting. There'll be electric cars. So if somebody's interested in trying out, a zero emission vehicle, they can do that at CityLink, off route, of course.
Yeah.
And the bubble machine. I would be remiss if I didn't talk about the bubble machine.
The bubble machine. Yes. So if you're not here with us that Sunday, you're missing out.
Unfortunately, yes, you're missing out, but there'll always be next year, which is really important to note.
Yep.
Also new this year is the after party.
The after party?
Yes.
What is the after party?
It will run from 3 to 5 p.m. And what we noticed is that in the last 2 years that we've hosted Open Streets, people are a little disappointed when we start reopening the streets to motor vehicles. And so we want to have a smaller footprint where we'll have our BMX show, which is always a popular sightseeing opportunity with so many cool bike stunts. It's just amazing. And there'll be food trucks and just an opportunity to celebrate our community a little bit longer.
Excellent. What a great thing.
Yes.
Well, Amy, thanks for joining me up here at the tower at Trinity English. It's been great to be with you, and good luck with Open Streets. We're really looking forward to it. We're looking forward to being part of it. And so thanks for watching this episode of The View from Here.